All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. We just did some Sofia Isella. We're gonna go right back into more Sofia Isella. This is another request from Rana Hook. Thank you so much for the request. Um, Look, Sophia is another one of those artists that kind of like, and I mentioned it before, is going against the grain. She's doing something different. She's doing something that not a lot of artists have kind of the balls or the guts to do. Um, and that's not just in how she's going about making her music, which is very different sounding in general, but also what she's discussing with her music. It's kind of a lot like Ray in a sense, but I feel like this is a little bit more like blatant. And of course, I've only heard one song from her, so I could be wrong, but that's kind of what I'm getting from this. But anyways, this is Sofia Isella, the Doll People official lyric video. I'm gonna go ahead and get this started. Before we do though, make sure you go like, subscribe, hit the notification bell on my channel. It helps the channel out a lot. I do have a Patreon. If you guys would like to join that Patreon, it does help the channel. It allows me to update a lot of stuff on the channel for you guys and give back to you guys as much as I can. It's about a cup of coffee a month. It's not expected or required, but it does help the channel a lot. So I do appreciate that. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead. Let's get into it. The Doll People. Here we go.
The doll people are not men, they are made of ice and glass. Our skin is clay and painted blue, our head can detach. We are statues with a pulse, we are art you can fuck. The doll people are quiet. What is there to say? Art does not interpret itself. There are men with a day to save. We are
Bro, this is crazy. So, speaking of art, right?
touch. We are
I want you to think about, I don't know if any of you listen to ASMR ever, but she's kind of talking. Why is my mic so fucked? She's kind of talking like that, where it's kind of like very lighthearted and very much like kind of under your breath. Very ASMR like, which is supposed to be calming. But it's also the way she's doing is very like eerie and very unsettling. And we have the piano that's kind of like blowing out your ears at random moments of the song.
The doll people are not men, they are made of ice and glass. Our skin is clay and painted blue, our head can detach. We are statues with a pulse, we are art you can fuck. The doll people are quiet. What is there to say? Art does not interpret itself. There are men with a day to save. We are paintings with legs. We are art you can fuck. Drink the doll's legs spread like battery, a wife, whore, mistress, maid, mother, the beauty and the buyer. Take the screaming one, because a woman who doesn't want it is much harder than one that does. Whore, mistress, maid, mother. Wife, whore, mistress, maid, mother.
Bro, this is wild. The detached head thing kind of makes with context like way more sense. You know, the detached head, like essentially, um, the detached head thing is kind of when you are assaulted, raped, what have you. And yes, YouTube, I'm gonna say it because that's what we're talking about. And I've never been through it, so I'm just gonna kind of take a guess here, but at that point, right, you disassociate, you basically detach from your own self. It's a traumatic response. It's a just an inadvertent response to what's happening. You feel empty, right? Um, but her likening that, or just women in general, to like dolls that you can play with and mold however you want. Like, that's heavy. That is crazy. That is crazy.
A woman who doesn't want it is much harder than one that does.
Also, that line is fucking tragic and deplorable.
A woman who doesn't want it is much harder than one that does. Or mistress made mother. Wife or mistress made mother. The doll people are alive. Or so they say. You can never trust the art these days. To be admired takes precedence over admiring. To be desired takes importance over desiring. Drink the doll's legs spread like buttery. Your wife, whore, mistress, maid, mother. The beauty and the buyer take the screaming one, because a woman who doesn't want it is much harder than one that does. Pain popping off of us like rockets, stepped right out of a fantasy. The words so stuck to our pockets. The beauty and the buyer take the screaming one, because a woman who doesn't want it is much harder than one that precedence over admiring.
So this whole song so far has been basically piano and her vocals, right? So that's act one, right? Remember, all good songs, all good art has acts. So that's act one. This mic stand's actually going to be, I'm actually going to punch it in a second.
To be desired takes importance over
So now we have the strings coming in, right? I've told you before, strings add immense, tense, epic sounds to songs. If you want to make it more emotional, add any type of string instrument to it, or multiple string instruments to it, right? And we also have her backup vocals. It's kind of like building up this tension, building up like this. It's intensifying the breathing. Drums have come in.
like buttery. Your wife, whore, mistress, maid, mother. The beauty and the buyer take the screaming one, because a woman who doesn't want it is much harder than one that does. Pain popping off of us like rockets, stepped right out of a fantasy. The words so stuck to our pockets. The beauty and the buyer take the screaming one, because a woman who doesn't want it is much harder than one that
She did this last time too, right? Like, there's this. I'll call it an intermission to stick with the kind of play metaphor here, but she has this like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like chaos to her voice, right? She's obviously in tune. She's not chaotic in terms of like she's out of tune or singing weird notes, but it's very chaotic. The note choices she chose, right? We have this cool melody going on with the strings, like, you know, they're doing this cool little melody or whatever. She's just kind of repeating her phrase, but getting louder, getting more chaotic in her tone, right? So not only is she being chaotic, but the song's kind of chaotic, because on one side we have the chaos, and on the other side we have the the uniformity, right? And what are we going to hear more of? Are we going to hear the uniformity more? Or are we going to hear the chaos more? Well, we're going to hear the uniformity more, because that's what we're used to. Also, probably what she's trying to go for, because we see all of what she's talking about always gets covered up somehow, right? Or denied, or they're probably lying, or that never happens, right? It always gets covered up by all the stuff that we see as normal. This is crazy. Like she like suffocating and took her last breath. This is crazy, dude.
The doll people are gone. They don't know what happened. They looked under her skirts one morning, but all they saw were maggots. They banged their head on the wall. They fucked the yard on that afternoon. The dolls are off running and laughing together, swimming in the milk of the moon. Wife, whore, mistress, maid, mother. Wife, whore, mistress, maid, mother. Wife, whore, mistress, maid, mother.
It honestly is like a movie in terms of all of the like different emotions that you end up feeling because of all that stuff. Like, and her like with the kind of insane or manic laughter at the end, right? This is crazy. This is 100% full art, right? Again, it's hard stuff to listen to. It's hard stuff probably for her to talk about, but it's stuff that needs to be talked about, right? So I think that's important to mention. But I think the outlandish way about how she goes about writing her music, but really the outlandish way she goes about performing it and singing it is, I don't think I've ever heard anybody do it that way, right? And I've heard other people kind of go out of their way to be extremely weird with how they sing, and it ends up like taking away from the art. I think she's found really that happy medium where the way she's singing works with what she's talking about, and it doesn't really, it enhances the art instead of takes away from the art, which is something I haven't seen in a long time. So, oh boy, Rana, what are you doing? We're finding another artist that I'm gonna want to go down a rabbit hole. I ain't got time for this. But that was awesome. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.